Okay, we're live. This is John Krupa. Freedom to Draw Unsolved Mysteries. You see my head? Some technical difficulties here. All right, we're doing the final appeals case of this guy. He's going to get executed today. Maybe, maybe not. We're going to tell you about his story, and he is set to be executed today in around the afternoon sometime. His name is Robertson the third. He was convicted of killing his 2-year-old daughter Nikki in 2002, but shaken baby syndrome has been largely debunked and led the detective in the case to say he actually messed up and got it wrong. And so, before we get into this, where they want to tell you that he is innocent, I want you to pump the brakes a little bit here because this is a quote from the medical examiner that examined his 2-year-old daughter's body after basically the autopsy. And it is quoted on saying, absent a massive car accident, a child in Nikki's condition, who was his child, must have been violently shaken and possibly struck against a blunt surface. A child with no significant external signs of trauma would have the following internal symptoms: bleeding inside the head, under the dura membrane, brain swelling, and retinal hemorrhages, which is bleeding in the eyes. And she displayed all these when he took her to the hospital that day in 2002. So now we're going to read this USA Today excerpt of Roberson's case, and I'm going to draw them at the same time. Texas is ready to execute Robert Robertson despite strong evidence that he didn't shake his 2-year-old baby daughter in her death in 2002. Shaken baby syndrome has since largely been debunked as a junk science. Remember that quote I read to you in the beginning before you listen to all this stuff that the USA Today is saying. Additionally, the lead detective in this case is now saying he got it wrong. Well, now the reason why this guy, large part of the reason why he's saying he got it wrong is because he is one of those anti-death penalty guys now. He's become a minister, which nothing wrong with that, but he's stoutly against the death penalty. So of course he's going to say this stuff saying he got it wrong. Robert is a completely innocent man, he says, and I got it completely wrong because we were looking for the wrong things. This man's name is Brian Wharton, the former police detective who led the investigation and Robertson's arrest and led to Robertson's arrest. A bipartisan group of Texas lawmakers urged the state's Board of Pardons and Paroles to recommend clemency for Robertson out of grave concern that Texas may be putting him to death for a crime that did not occur. The board unanimously declined this recommendation on Wednesday. The Supreme Court and Republican Governor Greg Abbott could still intervene, but Roberson has mere hours left till he's strapped to the execution table and given the lethal cocktail on Thursday, which is today. What was he convicted of? Roberson was convicted of killing his 2-year-old daughter Nikki in their home in East Texas, the city of Palestine, in 2002. Roberson reported hearing Nikki cry, finding that she had fallen out of the bed after soothing her. He said they both went back to sleep, and later, when Roberson woke again, he found Nikki was not breathing, and her lips had turned blue. At the emergency room, doctors observed symptoms consistent with brain death, and she was pronounced dead the next day. And that's where that quote in the beginning I got from. Hello, Justin. I see you. You're probably the only one watching. But Wharton told investigators that Nikki had pneumonia in both her lungs, pre-existing conditions for which she was prescribed opioids now banned for children, and undiagnosed sepsis. Wharton also said that his confirmation bias and a number of misunderstandings wrongly pointed to Roberson's guilt. Is he innocent or is he guilty? Did this not happen? Is it just extremely bad luck on this guy's part? Did he have really bad luck? Or did he just snap one day and just lose it? And, because a sick baby, I don't know whose parents here, but I'm a parent. The sick baby, especially with all the sicknesses that this child displayed, they're gonna cry all night. They're gonna keep you up all night, and nothing's gonna soothe them. What is it called? I can't remember the word. Not incorrigible. I can't remember the word, but it means you cannot soothe them. And there's nothing will make them stop crying because they're in pain. Did this guy snap? Said he had enough? I did find on research in this case that his parents, he had the baby, he left the baby over with his parents, and they had him drive over in the middle of the night saying, could you pick this baby up? Now, why would they do that? In the middle of the night, made this guy drive to get his baby. I'm guessing that they couldn't get to sleep, and they were older, and they couldn't even handle it. That's what I'm thinking. It's my opinion, but that's a fact. That happened. So I'm wondering why that happened. There's a lot of weird stuff that happened in this case. Hi, Faith. Who's Faith? I don't know. So this is a picture of the guy with his child before she died. She wasn't really a baby, but she wasn't really a toddler. She was in between. They just and the way he acted when at the emergency room was suspicious too. He had no emotion. They did say he had autism, but I don't know. You're gonna display some emotion a little bit. your your baby's like on the brink of dying, when you show a little bit of emotion, even if you did have autism, now I don't know, maybe they show it differently, but even if you uh, give them that, I still can't get the medical autopsy professional quote in the beginning that I told you, their statement saying that this child had severe internal trauma. Where did that come from? That just doesn't magically appear. You know what I mean? So I think before we get on the bandwagon of saying we're against the death penalty, maybe we should look at this case a little closer, and maybe they did get it right. Maybe this guy really did do it. Again, maybe they got it wrong, and maybe he's innocent and he's going to be lethally injected today. This is happening today, so guys, if you don't know anything about this case, it's happening in Texas, but you can look it up. I'm sure they're all over this case saying that it's inhuman and putting an innocent man to death. We have, as a country, done this before, put innocent men to death, even innocent boys to death. It hasn't happened in a while, but is this man one of the cases? I don't know. I can only tell you the facts. I want to lean towards he did do it because for three reasons. There's there's an account from his parents that said they had to have him come over and get the baby in the middle of the night. That happened like a week or two before this occurred, where she died. And the second reason for the quote that I quoted you in the beginning of this video, it said the medical examiner stated that. He wrote it down. He put his job on the line to say that. So he's not going to say these things lightly. And then the third reason is I think the baby was inconsolable. That's the word. Inconsolable. And the night he had been up like a week straight probably, and he just snapped. Some people just snap. They go postal. That's what the term going postal means. And maybe he shook her to stop her from, crying. And in that shaking, struck her against a blunt object and caused these things to happen. I don't think he did it on purpose. I think he just snapped. But the popular opinion is that Texas is putting an innocent man to death. So I'm going to let you guys weigh that out. Like I said, this is the case of Robert Roberson III, and you guys can check that out on the computer. But this is what he looks like, and we just told you a little bit about his story. Like, this happened over 20 years ago, so it's crazy that everybody's just going crazy about it over now. A little late, don't you think? So I'm going to leave you guys with that. And with that, I'm going to say peace out. And thanks for watching, for giving me 15 minutes of your time. And we will be back. We're going to be continuing drawing that farm scene. That'll be the next video. I'll let you guys know. Again, peace out.